Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate. So we're going to do a love reading today. So we're going to see what messages we have for relationships. This can be any type of relationship. It can be the relationship with yourself. It could be with a partner, a friend, a family member. All right, so let's pull a romance angel card. So that one, healing family issues. Okay. And then, let's see. We have be willing to express love to receive love. Sometimes that can be a really hard thing to do, right? Because especially if you have healing family issues going on, right? If you're feeling that you didn't receive love, or you weren't able to give love because you weren't receiving it, or you have issues from your family or from your past. I feel like this can represent something from your past. So it could be past relationships, and if you feel that you are shut down and you're feeling like, you're not willing to express love because you don't want to get hurt, because you don't want to take down those walls that you feel that you have used to protect yourself. All right, so let's pull one of these romance cards. I feel like these two want to come out, so let's just go with that. So we have sexual union, honor their place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. And then we have life as a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you will be surprised where it leads. So I feel like it could have to do with a physical connection that you have with someone, that it's not as strong as you would like it to be, because maybe you have some issues from your past that you're not having as strong as a connection as you want. So the physical relationship is not as strong, and it may seem more mechanical. It may seem like a duty. It may seem like something that you have to do, or it's just not something. It could be something that is lacking in a relationship. It could be something that is not that connection, and it could have to do with having to heal things from the past relationships where things had went wrong, and then so you've sort of put these walls up to protect yourself, and so the physical part is not as strong, and that maybe this is sort of a cycle for you that is shifting for you to realize, okay, if this isn't working and this isn't working, how do I keep going back to find out where does the issue stem from, right? Where did it begin from? Kind of asking yourself those questions. When did I start to feel this way? When did I start to feel like I wanted to shut down? And when were things starting to get disconnected? All right, so we have the Empress. What else do we have going on for Capricorn? All right, we have the Knight of Wands. For some reason, when I saw this Knight of Wands, I feel like he's looking directly at me, like he's trying to tell you a message, trying to tell me a message so that I can tell you a message. We have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the High Priestess. All right, we have the Tower. Okay, so rebuilding something. So I'm kind of happy that this one came out, because obviously there are some issues here, and something is sort of, something needs to be restructured. Knight of Swords, Six of Cups, Seven of Swords, King of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Seven of Cups. All right, so I feel that, all right, let's just get these. It's almost like restarting, right? This is the reset button here, is the Tower. That I feel like maybe you were trying to make things out to be better than they actually were. I feel like you were trying to sugarcoat things. I feel like you were trying to make things better than they actually were. I feel like this was sort of a false thing because you weren't being true to yourself, that you weren't being true to issues that you may have had in the past that you hadn't recognized, that you hadn't worked through, that you hadn't dealt with. And it was almost like I feel like you were piling more and more things on top of one another, right? Getting into new relationships, getting into more relationships, and just kind of, well, maybe this one will fix it, maybe that one will fix it, and kind of putting that all on top of other people to fix the things that were going on with you. Because sometimes we do that. Sometimes we don't want to face our own issues that we're having, our own healing that we need to do, and we kind of expect someone else to do that healing for us, to do that fixing for us, or to help us to forget something or to move past something. But the truth of it is that we have to deal with it ourselves, right? That you have to look within, and you have to look for those weak spots, and you have to deal with those emotions and those feelings that you have, right? Because this was built, something was built on a false foundation, and it was like falsely trying to have other people or other relationships, or saying, well, the next relationship will fix it, the next person will come along and they're going to make me happy and they're going to fix things for me. But that was a falsehood to yourself, because you have to work on those things that are bothering you. You can't put that on someone else. I feel like it's starting new, it's starting fresh, it's moving away from those things. I feel that it's working on those things, looking at those things and saying, what are those things that I need to deal with? What are those things that I need to work with? This is something that you have to be patient, and that it's going to take some time. But I feel like with the King of Pentacles is somebody kind of, he's good with business, and I feel like in order to have a business blossom, and again with relationships to blossom, is that you have to look for those weak spots. You have to look at those spots that aren't performing the way that they should, right? That are not feeling or doing the way that they should. So looking at those, finding those, looking at them and saying, how can I heal those? How can I fix those? How can I move past from those, right? How do I get things back on track? How do I turn things around? Not just trying to, I just feel like with this tower, it's like these bricks that are just piling one on top of the next, on top of the next, on top of the next, right? And putting more and more and more on top until it finally topples over, and it's kind of stripped down, right? Because he's naked here. It's stripped down to, okay, the bare essentials, and we've got to start from here and work from this point on. All right, so let's see, what other messages do we have here? I feel like this Seven of Cups is new opportunities, right? Feeling lighter, feeling better. I feel like the possibilities are endless once you see what is going on, right? But then you have to take actions. You have to take actions to make the changes, right? Three of Cups, happiness, work on. This is something you have to work on, your happiness, right? You have to work on these ideas. I feel like it's sort of this relationship that you have that is just, it's faltering and it's not working, and that it's come to this point where there's a shifting cycle, right? Because it's trying to tell you this message. It's trying to tell you this, that you have to work on this, that it's kind of rooted here, right? The root is here, and it's like, okay, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the roots and then start working on things. Ooh. Oh, I thought I was going to sneeze, but I didn't. Ooh, it was building. Okay. Handling those difficult situations. Sometimes we just don't want to handle those difficult situations, and we keep just putting them aside and say, I don't want to deal with it, right? It's just going to stir up the pot. It's going to cause so many things, and I don't know if I want to go back to, that time where I have to rehash all these things, and I've been trying to stuff that into that emotional chest, right, that we have in our minds, that, it's like, no, I want to keep that down. I want to keep that down. But I have found that the older that I was getting is that the more that the lid on that kept popping open, right? And it was almost like I couldn't even control if I was going to start processing something or something was going to bubble up and come out. It was like I couldn't even control that. Like it would just happen. I would have days where it would just be like, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about this? And you have to do this when you're ready and when you feel strong and, and when you're able to do it. But I feel like those are the things that really help you to see those and to release those and to work through those, right? It's those difficult situations, but free yourself from that energy. You have to do it when you're ready. Free yourself. I love that. That's perfect. That's the perfect energy that I was feeling, is to free yourself, because you feel like you have all of these things coming at you. And this is what helps your relationships around you, because you're working on you, right? You're doing your own things. And if it's, sometimes we need that alone time, and we need that time to process and work through these things and to feel that energy and to work through it. And that's what helps our relationships moving forward, because we're feeling lighter and we're not kind of taking that anger or energy or that frustration from what had happened in the past and putting it on the person or the people that we're surrounding ourselves now. These are the things that you have to work on in order to have those deeper relationships, right? Those stronger connections in all areas of our relationship. Just something for you to think about, something for you to look at, right? Sometimes we're not really sure why we're feeling certain ways, but this could be something that is, kind of bubbling up or coming to the forefront for you. But this is when, you have to be ready to work on this type of stuff. But this could be what is affecting your relationship, is really asking yourself, am I willing to express love? Am I willing to reach out, right? Am I willing to let my walls down? And if I'm not, why am I not? Why do I feel that way? Is my physical connection with the person that I'm with not as strong? And am I not feeling that as strong? And why am I not feeling that, right? What is making me feel that way? Why am I putting up these walls? Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes it just takes some more time for those things to be exposed or come to the forefront for us. But sometimes it's like, okay, kind of being more aware of, okay, there's something going on, but I'm not sure what it is, but just being more aware of those feelings that we have inside and listening to those. All right, let's see. Let me close with, what do I want to close with? Let's close with this one here. And then, I forgot, I should have said it at the, all right, so let's, the world is yours, right? Kind of, he or she is at the end of the dock, kind of in that time by themselves. We have the lilies. I think is that lilies? Lotus. And I feel like that represents calmness, but there's a lot of clouds, and there's a star here, and part of the moon is dark, and part of the moon is, or the world is lightened up. But I feel like it's kind of taking that time to contemplate and think. When I saw her, I kind of, or him or her, I saw this person. It seems like this person is taking that time to think, right? Time to think and to work on things, that inner self. A lot of times, like I said, we just keep piling more and more things on top of ourselves, and we don't give ourselves time to process things, what has happened to us. It's almost like, no, if I have this distraction or that distraction, then I won't have to think about it. But I feel like this reading is for that person who is ready to work on things and bring things to light, and to work on things to have the relationship be a stronger connection. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.